Hi and welcome to Cardboard Swords, and we're back with another episode of Chalk and Talk. It's the second instalment, joined as always by Chris Chalk. Chris,
you're right.
How have you been doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Started with all the Dusk till Dawn previews now done.
Yeah.
Started the testing, so we'll see what we're playing.
We've had a bit of downtime, really, haven't we? So
Yeah.
have you been away, played some other games and stuff? Had a bit of downtime, not been.
Yeah, just kind of been playing the other stuff, other card games, other just board games, just
Yeah.
other games in general. Just taking a little bit of break because there's not really much to test until we know the set. Because obviously we don't know where the mayor's going to go. We don't know what heroes are going to how they're going to perform.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do until the full set releases.
And burnout is real, right? It's a pretty relentless schedule that LSS put out there for players. And actually, if you play everything all the time and you go pretty hard into that national season, actually sometimes you need that downtime.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you can take a break. Sometimes.
Probably wise. Yeah. Cool. So you've picked a few Dusk till Dawn cards that you want to highlight and just talk about and chat about. So first up, what are we going to talk about first?
So first off, we're going to talk about Empyrean Rapture, which is the new Light Illusionist chest. So first off, obviously, whenever any chess piece releases, we compare it to Tunic. Obviously, it's not Tunic.
As in legendary chess piece, right?
Sorry, legendary chess piece. Yeah. We always compare it to Tunic. I think even the Majestics and stuff get compared to Tunic because it's like, is it better than Tunic?
It's kind of the benchmark, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this will be interesting to see how it performs. I think with Old Prism gone out with Living Legend, and New Prism coming in, it'll be interesting to see what people make use of it with. So obviously with the Halo of Illumination, you can obviously put Herald into Arsenal on command, and draw a card. That will obviously then trigger the New Prism, which will let you put Figment into play. And then obviously Empyrean Rapture lets you then awaken that Figment instantly, because it now costs 2 less, so no additional cost, which is definitely an interesting little play. Obviously, any other card like Genesis as well will do the same thing.
Yeah,
put it in, get the Figment out, trigger Empyrean Rapture to then awaken it for free. So I think in builds where you're seeing a lot more Figments and a lot more maybe Heralds, I think maybe you see this more. Obviously, the ward is kind of give and take. It's a worse like Ironhide, because you're paying 1 to block 1 rather than paying 1 to block 2. Obviously, that key effect of the actual effect is the main part of it. Will it be played over Tunic? Maybe not. I'm not sure. Depends. We'll have to just wait and see.
Well, how good do you think the New Prism is as well? You know, do we think this is powerful enough?
So the New Prism isn't going to be as good as Old Prism.
Thank God.
Not being able to make Spectral Shields on demand, not being able to give them Poke for 1, go again, because the old Luminaris is now gone. It'll be interesting to see where the New Prism lies. I think it'll play a lot differently from the Old Prism. Spectre will still be a thing, but I don't think it's going to play to it as much.
Yeah.
Because you can't make, unless you're playing Iris, which means you're playing a higher blue count, which means you're playing less go again in general, or like less yellows and stuff. We may not see Spectre be that big.
Right.
We'll probably see it be represented at Calling in Birmingham just because it's Prism. People love it.
So you're not going to defect from Drumeye to Prism anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. Maybe in Blitz. But
we've
got the old Prism still.
Now,
this will be interesting at the old Prism because it's an instant Spectral Shield. Especially if that Herald of Erudition hits, draw 2, Spectral Shield for free. Poke for
stop
1.
talking. Let's move on. Let's move on quickly. So I don't know which one you want to talk about next.
Yeah, we're going this one. So Celestial Reprimand.
Celestial Reprimand. Yeah. So we've got another illusionist. I feel a theme coming on here.
This is the last Light Illusionist card.
Okay, good.
There's only the first 2. There is another Illusionist card later on.
Right.
That's more for Dromai. This will be interesting. It's cool in a common. I wanted to mix in obviously legendaries, majestics, commons. Like not everything is going to be. Obviously, all the good cards are majestic.
There's a lot of staple commons and rares.
There's a lot of good commons.
Yeah, got to find those.
I think in the red, it's not going to be play. You're not going to see any play in the red.
Okay.
In the yellow and the blue, I think it'll be pretty good because obviously it pitches high, so it pays for the heralds, pays for the auras, pays for the instants. But also the yellow and blue mean that if they block for 7, react with the yellow, puts it down to 5.
Yeah.
No longer Phantasm. Blue block for 6 is also the most common Phantasm popper.
Yeah.
Now blocks for 5. So on turns where Herald of Erudition, you really want that to go through?
Yeah.
Stop it.
No, I hate it. I hate it. So it's probably good.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I think it'll be
Reprimand. Pick them up. So then we've got another legendary chess piece.
It is.
This one is the Light Warrior one, the Soul Bond Resolve.
Yeah.
Talk us through this one. Why is this one in your
So
picks?
again, we've got to compare it to Tunic, and I do think it's worse than Tunic, straight up. I think Bolton, because Bolton is obviously a free intelligence hero and pays such a tax to play his cards, I think you will just be still playing Tunic. However, this is interesting because it's effectively a block 3 then block 2.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's temper 2, but it charges every time it blocks. So not only are you slowly getting up that soul ready for those combo turns, you're also blocking 3, one of which is a alternative block.
Yeah.
So like into Rune Blades that go wide, it can block one of those Rune Chants or one of those Arcane later on.
Well, I think with Bolton, the deck is slowly changing because there's a lot of new cards that have a synergy with yellow and putting yellow into soul. Yeah. So actually, building up to those spike turns, taking off turns where you're defending more heavily, building up that soul to a point where you've got a critical mass in soul to have a really big turn. Pitching a yellow, because you can run it off a yellow. Yeah. Then going wider and bigger than before, because that is Bolton's strength. It's those spike turns, those big spike turns, and I can see where Soul Bond Resolve can maybe do what Tunic can't in some ways for a new Bolton build.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where it lands.
And we've got go again effects on cards now, on charge cards now that don't require you to pay for them.
Yeah.
Therefore, actually, maybe Soul Bond Resolve is able to be played a little bit more in Bolton. But
plus, you've always got a turn where you Soul Bond Resolve, charge the new Baronet, the one that gives cards +1
the
defense.
Bannerets, the Bannerets are. Oh yeah, okay,
the Soul Flare one that gives defense. So this is how you trigger it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that. Maybe you get it and you go, okay, block out. And you just do a huge block.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Bolton can block pretty efficiently. You've still got the old cards like Soul Shield and things like that, where you're building up your soul, and then these huge turns where you're going to combo off and see what happens. But interesting. Good pick.
So we've got another Bolton card here.
Prayer of Bologna.
Prayer of Bologna. So I think this card, I think it provides a bit of a trap.
Right.
So I think this card wants you to play a deck full of yellows. Mm-hmm. So obviously you're hitting it most of the time. However, I think that the danger in that is obviously if you do fill your deck with yellows, most of them are going to be under those breakpoints. They're going to be hitting for 3, or they're going to be hitting for 2+1, which is still 3. So this helps with it. Obviously, it makes those yellows +2, so they're now on breakpoints. Obviously, you're not going to have this every turn. Still interesting to have a charge effect on a non-attack. So it means that you can play other attack cards without having to charge from hand. But also, it digs 1 card deep, so it gives you a bit more choice on your charge. Like, it's not much more choice, but you do get to choose 4 cards instead of 3. Yeah. So it's just a little bit extra.
Anything that helps with card advantage in Bolton is welcome.
Playing this off a Tunic, I think, would be pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. Hellhammer.
So this card literally, you look at it, and you just look at it and think, this is awful.
Oh, okay, yeah, look, it's awful.
Oh, it looks cool. The eye is amazing. Fleshblood eye is amazing, of course. But you look at the card and you think, this card is not great. It's just cool. Swing 2, swing for 6. Now I'm taking a damage every turn.
I'm taking blood debt, yeah.
But I think into the new demi-heroes, which we'll go on to in a bit, I've obviously put them up. You can't talk about a sec and not talk about the new mechanic demi-hero.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think for CC, this is pointless. You're not playing this in CC at all. However, in Blitz, I think this could provide an interesting little piece where you're looking to turbo the blood debt to get out into Blasphemet as early as possible, because Blasphemet is the best version, I think.
Okay.
But in Blitz, where you just get to play a blood debt from Banished, you remove from your Banished, you're not taking it anymore.
Yeah.
Obviously, some cards get extra effects when they're played from Banished.
Mm-hmm.
This just helps you turbo get to that 13 a lot quicker.
Yeah, and I feel like in that build, you're probably not swinging your weapon very often because, like you say, you're trying to put cards into the grave. So you want to be swinging with cards so they hit your grave and then hit the Banished. You're not actually swinging your weapon that often. Yeah. So when you do 2 for 6, really good rate, and it goes to it's putting it towards your game plan as well of that critical mass of blood debt. So
it'll be interesting to see what people do with this, as well as all the new blood debt equipment that prevent 2, and then get banished.
Do you think you got to build Levia slightly differently depending on which demi hero you're going to work towards? Or
I think Levia Redeemed, it will find more of a place in CC where you're effectively using it for. We'll talk about the demi heroes now.
Okay, yeah, cool.
But yeah, we'll talk about demi heroes now. So Levia Redeemed being, I think, it's more of a CC option where you're effectively using it to just go, cool, I'm going to heal 7 now. Yeah. Just going to heal 7
and turn off blood death.
For the rest of the game. Yeah. Like, it will be interesting to say. I'm not much of a Levia player myself,
right?
But with all cards losing blood debt, that could end up hindering you. Because obviously, if a card specifies target card with blood debt, it doesn't have blood debt anymore.
But I'm guessing you don't play. You don't.
You probably won't play him.
You don't lean into that.
It's interesting to know that is a thing.
Yeah. I think it's really exciting. It's a really cool design space, very thematic, and a lot of fun. You kind of mentioned Plasma Fair, which is the flip side of that card.
Yeah.
Which obviously having 2 cards take up 1 inventory slot is also pretty good. Should we talk about another card?
Yeah, I think we've spoke about Plasma Fair. Let's go to we'll go to the Rune Gates. So I wanted to say just generally here that any Rune Gate with 2 cost, I think will be really good to look at. Obviously, with Vinset, it's interesting to see how Vinset's going to be played. I've been testing it myself a little bit.
Okay.
Also, you get 1 Rune Chant a turn guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then getting 1 more is the easiest point to hit. Getting 2 more to hit Rune Gate 3 or 3 more to hit Rune Gate 4 can be a bit challenging.
Okay.
But Rune Gate 2 is really easy to hit off a 2-card hand.
Right.
So
and is that the kind of model you're looking at for Vinset? You're talking about like a mid-rangey 2-card hand, consistently trying to put out good numbers off 2 cards.
That's what I'm going to be looking at. Yeah, okay. We're looking at hands that you just go, okay, banish this, make a Rune Chant, maybe Tunic Trigger, play a 1 cost, makes a Rune Chant, play the Rune Gate 2 cost that you just banished, pass. Just consistent 2-card hands. Unless you block with 6 for every, unless you block 6 every turn. Or on those turns where you do get a little bit wide, maybe you get a meet and greet.
Yeah.
Because meet and greet is really good in this deck. Obviously, you play any shadow non-attack action, trigger Vinset's ability. Means your Rune Chant can't be prevented. Which means when you do come in with meet and greet, it's got go again because they can't stop that Rune. Like, you can't stop that Rune Chant from dealing the arcane. And obviously, if it hits, it's breakpoint 4. It then gives you the Rune Chant back. So.
Fair enough. Sounds exciting. I haven't looked at it at all, but sounds exciting. It looks really cool. Again, stunning artwork.
It's going to be built a lot differently to Chain.
Yeah. So, it's completely.
Also, doesn't run Rosetta. Doesn't even look at it.
Okay.
So that's a fresh. It's almost fresh.
It's almost like they designed it to not use Rosetta. Tear through the portal.
So I think this card is also a bit of a trap. I think I played it originally, looking at like obviously going wide.
In your Vinset testing. Okay.
Played in Vinset testing. Go wide. Like, why would I not want a card that gives my big attacks go again?
Yeah.
But the issue you have is because you're not chained, because you're only bashing 1 card a turn, it means that you're playing much more restricted. So sometimes you don't really want to give it go again because you've got a block as well. It'll be insane in Chain.
Blocks for 2 as well.
Yeah, blocks for 2. Be insane in Chain though.
Yeah.
Like Chain and Blitz is really gonna love this card.
Okay.
But I think it's an interesting card, and I think we've got to see where the meta goes because maybe you do end up playing it just to give like some like maybe Bounding Demigon. The 0 cost comes in for 4. Give it go again, and then come in with something else from hand or another Rune Gate card. Who knows?
Okay. Cool. It's also common.
Yeah.
Pick them up.
So, Scowling Fleshbag.
Scowling Fleshbag. We're onto Brute equipment now.
Yeah, so we're onto the new legendary for Brute.
Yep, cool.
I am scared as to where this card can go.
This is very good.
It's an insane piece of equipment for Brute.
So, blocks for 2. When it defends, Intimidate. So, it says it blocks for 2 on the card, but actually, if you're timing this right, you're timing this on a turn where they need those cards. They've kept them in hand. They're going to do something big, and you intimidate just the right time. Yeah. It's essentially blocking for 5, 6 plus.
Yeah, the upwards potential of this card is insane. The fact that it's giving Brute disruption in the opponent's turn is quite a scary thought, because obviously they have their turn, they intimidate 2-3 cards from your hand, already limiting what you can do. You block with the other card because you have to prevent some damage. Then you go, okay, swing, like Ninja's going to hate this card, because you could actually, for one, swing with an attack action, block with this. That last card that was going to go for a mass trigger is now gone.
But I mean, it's on the table, so you can play around it to an extent. It's not like it's coming out of nowhere. Yeah. You're sequencing your turn knowing that is available to them. So it's not.
But you can't play around it every turn.
No, you can't.
If you play around it every turn, you're going to lose.
Yeah, exactly. You got to bait it out, really. I mean, at some point you got to. Yeah.
It'll be interesting. This card will be also included in every brute deck, I think, going forward.
Yeah, pretty much. It's very good. Lost in Thought. Okay, well, it's not like a Drumeye player to pick this. Okay.
Love this card. This card is insane, and anyone who thinks this card is awful has never played a Drumeye game in their life. This card is actually wild. It costs 1.
Yeah.
So it gives you Ash.
Makes you Ash.
Looks at that hand, right?
Gives you perfect knowledge.
Gives you perfect knowledge of that hand. You can take any card from that, any attack action card from that hand, shove it to the bottom of the deck. Bye-bye, Phantasm.
As if your matchup against Rangers wasn't good already.
Yeah.
Like, you can just take their arrow.
Take the arrow, take the Phantasm, take the key combo piece, take the Surging Strike.
Yeah.
Like,
it helps against Ninja, right?
Yeah. Oh no, they get a Ponder. Oh no, they get an Arsenal. Oh no.
Yeah. It's
and I think
turns on your dragons.
Gives go again.
Yeah.
Turns
on your dragons. Yeah.
So it gives go against the dragons. This card is also including Dromai. Is insane. This card is gonna. This card's so good.
Calm down.
It's not a dragon. It's not an Ash, but it's sure as hell is a Dromai.
Lost in Thought. Very good. Okay, I think that is all the ones you picked to talk about.
Yeah, so those are all the cards I wanted to pick out.
On that then, let's just have a little think about it. I know it's very early days. You've been doing a little bit of testing of Vincent. Obviously, you're still playing Drummer. You played Prism tonight at the Armory in Blitz. But yeah, where do you think the meta's going then? What do you think is going to happen here over the next few weeks in the run-up to Birmingham and the calling?
It's hard to say. I think we'll still see Lexi being the best hero, even after the
Bullseye Braces ban.
I think the Bullseye Bracer ban was a really smart choice.
I do.
I think that is the best way to hinder Lexi's ceiling without really changing what defines the hero.
I'm a little bit upset though, because as a Riptide player, what I like to do was when Azuri swung in with the dagger, you block with a Bullseye Bracer, and then it buffs it, and then you can play the attack reaction on the buffed dagger, which was sneaky and pretty funny.
Yeah.
And they used to take damage from it and hate it, and I used to love doing that. Yeah. And that is no longer available.
It'll be interesting to see where it goes. Obviously, Azalea got part of a bit of splash damage here. So Azalea lost as well as a Driptide, but I think what it did in Lexi decks outweighs what it takes away from Azalea and Riptide. I think it was a wise choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's wise to hit the card that costs next to nothing rather than the card that people have spent 90 quid on play sets for, and I think
we will see more hits after this meta. I think Lexi's still the best deck. I think Lexi is still the deck to beat. Obviously, there's loads of speculation we can go into meta, and then speculation based on that speculation, and speculation based on that speculation, and we go around in circles.
That's the way it works, right?
But I think things to look out for are going to be Dromai's still as good as ever.
Dromai's going to be good.
However, because Dromai and Lexi are good, you're going to see like ninjas. It's going to be pretty decent. So Katsu, Fi, they're going to be looked at. See, then we may consider Guardians. You may see Icelander come back. Who knows? The Codex of Frailties may keep Icelander out of the meta, but who knows?
Yeah, it's all up in the air. It's going to be a big spread.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I think going up to calling Birmingham, we're going to see.
I mean, we're going to see every event. That's the first big event, right? So it's kind of going to be the start of the new meta, I guess. But yeah, interesting times ahead for sure.
Yeah, we'll see some new faces. I think Vincent will perform.
Yeah,
I think maybe not top. Maybe not get that top 8, but I think it will come in the top, maybe top 16.
We haven't talked about Azuri as well. Azuri's
a
very viable deck.
Azuri's very good. Gets sort of checked by Dromai a bit Obviously, it's really good into. I think it's good. It's got a good matchup with a Ninja. It's got good matchups around the boards. It's just got a couple of really big losing matchups, like Dromai. It instant loses to Dromai.
Yeah, interesting times.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We've got testing to go.
Yeah,
we've got Birmingham.
Testing. We've got the Cardboard Swords Party House.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How much testing is going to go on? But,
yeah, not a lot of testing in there, I can assure you. But thanks for your time, Chris.
No worries.
Joining us again.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and we've got plenty more content coming up. We'll perhaps get some testing games in and some gameplay footage and various other things on the way. So, yeah. Cheers.